Hello and welcome. I thought we'd not forget to actually do this type of thing, because it's surprising how much water you use with all of the greenhouses and everything. I'm quite pleased with where we are. Still wondering, do we set the just try and set the weeder. I can't remember who's actually got it. Well, I do want to take this away. Where did we leave the hoe? Over there. The biggie's got it. Should we quickly do it? Oh, it's hard to do. You've got your wheel marks, though, is what I'm thinking. I would like to do it. I think it is. Is it this one? No, this is the one it isn't. There's two that are. And that's the one where it is on the right and the one over there on the left. So yeah, so I've got to do something with the. I have been modding most. I didn't. Yeah, it was one of them days where I wanted to do something, but didn't have the energy to like do any sessions. So I thought, I'll just like do a few mods. But I've been sauntering around them rather than like doing anything major. Because again, I've just not got the sort of. Yeah, it's still this COVID. It really does hang on. Right, let's crack on. It's a big monster, so let's. It's not like it's. I mean, it's a big field as well, but. And the other thing is, it's not the fact that I've made this mod. This mod is the 24.5 meter Horsch standard weeder made into a hoe. Yeah, the hoe parts I've added, but what I'm saying is the work is all. The weeder. I've not had to touch anything except to make it into a hoe. So what I mean is the work, the references within this mod are exactly the same as the 24.5 weeder, so it's not anything I've done. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was sort of quite. I thought, well, it is nothing I've done, because this is a Giants mod, all apart from the modelling and the references and all of the hard work. I mean, the only hard thing I had to do was to try to find the exact places to stick my models in the hose that you can see the red things, and to make sure they fold correctly, which is difficult to do. But what I mean is, all credit goes to Giants really for the actual model. But it is definitely a proper hoe, and that's my point. So I have done something, but I've got to be honest, the modeling and making the physics work, that's the real thing, and that's all down to Giants. So credit where credit's due. The rest is just me. Yeah, just the XML tweaks and knowing the syntax of how to make it into a hoe, and that's through observation of other hoes and a little bit of trial and error as well. So yeah, it's going to take a while though. So we will start on this one. Now I've got to say, this corner, when in editing I thought, well, it is a fairly square corner. It's not the most round, so I'm still a little bit surprised, because the syntax is an absolutely amazing turner. So I don't know why Courseplay couldn't figure this out. But I've got to be honest, the workers are a bit dodgy on square corners anyway. I don't know what this is. I don't know. It's almost like a backward step in Farm Simulator. I've got to be honest. Although the workers are better, supposedly, I find them worse. They were better. They were better even at the beginning, although not perfect. They have now got worse. Yeah, but I found this with FS22 on day of release. You could send the AI could travel around with the splines, especially on Giants maps, fairly well. Later on, now obviously some of this was down to map makers not understanding the splines terribly well, and there's still a lot of map makers who don't actually do the splines terribly well. But obviously, I think even on the Giants maps, Giants know how to do splines. Yeah, they do. I've not seen many Giants maps where that doesn't work properly, so I really can't say that. Now, of course, I didn't round this corner, but that really shouldn't. I've got to be honest, I should know better, but I did this quickly, and I went on to other things as well. I wasn't paying proper attention, because I'm the first to talk about round corners, and obviously I cut this field off. So the corners aren't terribly round though, and again, the maker of Castile and Leon, obviously coming from FS22, may not know that. I keep saying this, although no, I know, because some modders just mod. Some modders don't actually play the game. So really, unless you're playing FS25, you don't really know that the corners really need to be really round. I mean, really round. The rounder they are, the better for them to actually work properly. So now this I know and have seen that, yeah, really to get your workers the most out in FS25, you really got to make it easy for them. You know, you can easily catch the workers out if you want to, just by just do square corners, and like, trust me, your workers will never work properly again. It really is that bad, and I'm not trying to be horrible. It's just the truth. Right, so then, yeah, this is a big field, isn't it? Yeah, well, we'll do this one, and then we'll set the weeder going. But if we're speeding up through the months, I'm trying to think what else we have got to do. I mean, we're really trying to save up because we've got 1.2 million to save up for the. I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm working hard on this one. Oh, no, remember, you need to be going out further than that. That's your middle mark. So you really need to be like way out about there, I would say. Yeah, that's probably not too far. I'd sooner like hug a little bit too close to my left line than a not, because the amount of times I get like weeds growing in the middle because I'm not quite over enough. But it's, yeah. I mean, the beauty on this is we can actually see the wheel marks really well. So, yeah, I mean, I can see there's a big, massive overlap on that. So there's no way there's any weeds growing in between that one. But yeah, so it's a bit of an enigma, this. Now, obviously, this is one of the few tools, because it doesn't really actually make much of a mark that actually works properly. It is. It's a pleasure to see my wheels actually making a mark, and like the bit of the dust that rises up, and actually there's no marks to be made on this. So it's one of the few things, hey, actually sort of works properly. Sort of. Yeah. Because it doesn't actually make any real marks, does it? It just, yeah, it's it is a pleasure. It is a bit awful, and I'm not trying to be horrible. I'm trying to keep sane, because I've got to be honest, it is a real challenge when you like ploughing a field, and you like, it really is a voyage of faith, because you cannot see a thing. And you just know, or you hope. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing as well. You're supposed to be checking your workout. You can't do it. It's sort of like, it's just, you know, like your skill level, and that's as simple as, I think, actually, we're one more round and we've actually done this. Looking at how big this beautiful beast is. I think we'll do the other one as well. Yeah, we'll have, if we chat, if it's the entire session, it's the entire session. I've got to be honest, when you consider these fields, we've actually done well, and we were fairly fortunate because they were like fertilized fully. So you can't, you know, like, what I mean is we will have done well. We've got trying to meet these challenges and use these, the productions to the best. Still a little bit unsure whether we do animals, because I don't think animals are never that hard. We could probably, trying to think where we would stick. We've got our second bit of land, the second farm yard, really, that we've not put anything on it yet. So we could actually use that for animals. It's not going to hurt. Just trying to think what we would. Well, I've got to be honest. The one thing I'm going to say, the manure. Now, my sell point, buy point, is 60% off, and that manure was mega expensive. Even I noticed how expensive it was when the worker was doing, you know, like, it was like, I was thinking, that's thousands ticking down. It was going, you know, normally you see the manure, it's going down in like, you know, like single digits, but this was like tens and tens and tens. I'm like, that is a lot of money. I've not seen. So whether this is a mistake and the manure is like made of gold on this particular map, well, I'm hoping that gets sorted soon, because even with, I need to have a special manure buy point with like 90% off to actually feel any benefit at all on this map. It's that expensive. So really, it might not be a bad thing to have cows just for the manure alone. And if we could sell the manure, well, it should be worth a fortune. I don't know if the sell price is as good, because you could make a killing just on manure alone on this map if it works like that. That would be quite phenomenal. So I think just straight down the middle, and we should be smack on. Just not for this bit, because this is done, but for that end bit where it widens out a little bit, we might need to do that there. Yeah, so if we need to do this, we need to do it. I'm treating this as a full let's play. I've got to be honest, I don't know why this map is getting slated, unless it's things like manure and stuff like that, but I've got to be honest. I mean, it's been out a few weeks. It's had an update. So I thought it was only just been released, but when I looked more closely, it was an update to the map. So it wasn't actually the map had just been released or anything. It really was the fact that it was an update to the map. So you'd have thought things like manure would have actually been caught, being as it's an update. Let's grab that plough as well, being as it's me, so it doesn't get left. Yeah, you can see bits of tree being drawn and stuff, and they like flicker on the left-hand side. This was what I was sort of saying a while back about. It really is awful, and this is what Kinlake was like, just awful with that particular type of thing going on. That was just absolutely terrible. Yeah, weeds growing hoe. It was. You know, when you're going past trees and you see a flicker of a tree on the actual field, you're like, why is it drawing trees on the... I mean, I know why, but what I mean is you shouldn't be seeing it. It just goes to show how slow the drawing is on FS25 in comparison to all this. You never would have seen. You did see it a little. If the game engine there was a tiny little, but I mean, we're talking about, you'd sort of think, well, did I just see something out the corner of my eye? Because it was that quick, it really would be gone. And you might even think to yourself, I'm not sure, was it my imagination? But I did see it occasionally. And you don't expect perfection. It is a game. You never used to see any of that in FS19, I might add, because the game engine was very, very much more powerful because the graphics were not as good. FS22 was still a very good graphical game. I went back on it. I loaded it. I thought, do I go back to FS22? But the graphics were a bit better on FS25. I thought, but it's not just that, because I would willingly go back to FS22 and play on a game that's more refined and more finished than FS25. I thought, but I don't know that there's not new content being released, there's not new maps, because FS25 is the one where everybody's working towards. You can't turn the clock back, even if you want to. Which is why I sort of jumped into FS25 straight away, because I thought you've got to get used to it, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. You know, you've got to like jump straight in, and obviously I sort of said I was going to do it on hard economy, and I've never switched to normal ever. It's been on a hard economy every single time, which is amazing. My phone is annoying me. That's why I normally have it on silent. It is the main reason, I think, is actually when I'm on Farming Simulator, because it really is annoying. Switch it on silent. You are really wandering heavily. I can't do two things at once, so let's stick that on. That's vibrate now. Right. I'm back. Apologies. That was a bit... Yeah, this will need another round now, because you've like gone almost into the tree. Where was I? Yeah, I was looking at editing. I didn't really answer the question that I sort of started with, which was I was going about trying to retrace my steps, what I was talking about. I was talking about IBS and all the rest of it, and how it switched from physical jobs to mental jobs. And my point was, I went maudlin all over the place, was when I first began to do IT, I never realized how mental energy, how obviously I was used to being physically tired, like from doing a physical job, but I was absolutely mentally and emotionally exhausted from like IT for a while. And it's a completely different exhaustion, but it was nevertheless quite an eye-opener of your mental and emotional energy. So when I was saying the other day about, like it hits you yesterday, I think, or was it early today? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, about it hitting you hard, like mentally and emotionally. It's true, it does. You're thinking through problem solving all the time, I think, yeah, yesterday my boss was like, "Oh, why did you miss that?" And I thought to myself, Steve, it's Friday, mate, and it's like, you get tired. It's as simple as that. If I'd have faced this situation that I had, I would have easily done exactly as he said. There were a couple of, I mean, it didn't alter anything, but what I mean is they're like silly mistakes that you make because you're not at your best. So we've got that whole patch of farmyard where we've cleared. We could easily do cows or something on there. Could grab can we afford it now? We'd like literally bleed ourselves to, I suppose we ought to save up a little bit, but it really would assist us. Again, it's the money we really try. I always think that situations like this, you've got to try and stick to the plan. I think this is the biggest field we've got into as well. Yeah, you've got to stick to the plan of like, what you've got to have a goal in mind and work to that goal. We could do animals, it's true, but they're not. I mean, we could again go the dairy, but all of the proper things on this one, they are fairly expensive. I think I would go with my own dairy rather than the Castile one, because mine is cheaper and it is very good. But what I mean is, dairies are good, but they're not a real good money spinner. They're not. They keep your money together and they do make you a bit of cash. But what I'm trying to say is, we've got a goal where we need to raise a lot of money. And we're not doing badly now. Got nearly 600,000. Obviously, it's April as well. Our businesses we're chucking all the wood into making firewood, which we'll have a look. Obviously, we've not been doing it for very long, so far we've got quite a bit of wood been made from tearing down the wood boarding, all of the boarding sort of products, and we have 20,000 litres of wood that had been made. That's gone to the wood factory. So that's a nice start. But what I mean is, and the other thing is, you can sell that. The firewood actually commands quite a good price. So again, that's something we could sell later on, if we so wished. But the other thing is, we could say, because it seems the firewood is actually something that a lot of the things on the map need. So really, one of your prime things would have to be chopping trees down, which I'm very fortunate in that I've got that actual mod that does that. Wow, some damage. There are quite a few damage marks, aren't there, on the fields? You can see them. Yeah, so I don't know what I was going to say now with like, yeah, so I think I finished that now. I've finally managed to appraise you of what I was talking about, of the mental energy that like IT does sort of take. And it is true. Again, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but Steve always seems to like, there's no excuse for you to, like why you would possibly make a steak on Friday. And I'm like, you are really something else. Obviously, you don't get tired. It's one of those people who chip. And he sort of is the very antithesis of everything that I sort of stand for. He's the glass is half empty type of person. And I'm always a glasses. I always want to see the positive, not the negative. But he's a constant negative, like, why did you make this mistake? The other thing is, and I did say this too, we've got a well-being lady, Josie. I've spoken about, she's one of the drivers on the farm. And I did say, because as a kid, I noticed this phenomenon. Now, when I got married to my wife was a lot older than I was, and the family hated the situation. And I would be in a room with them, and it was like in the atmosphere, they were trying to trip me up. And if there's 3 or 4 people trying to like make barbed comments and drag you in, it's like 3 people are bullying you, and it's in the air, and you find yourself tripping up because 3 people are, I mean, I'm a firm believer that who was I talking to the other day? Not a really spiritual person, but I said, one thing that COVID taught me, I said, I used to go and see my friends 2 or 3 times a week, and do a few jobs for them and look after them because they were like disabled. I said, but when COVID came, obviously you weren't even allowed to go and visit your like close friends. So we sort of tried to do Zoom meetings, and no, I could spend 2 hours and like I could think, oh my life, 2 hours has gone, like with my friends, like before COVID in person. But what we all found that when COVID hit on a Teams meeting, we'd all had enough by 20 minutes. And I sort of said to my colleague, I said, it sort of proved to me that COVID, when this type of thing happened, that there's far more to human beings than we see and know about, because we don't end with where we are. Now, if we're on a like a video call like that, it doesn't, your normal physical, these chemical responses that must happen, that like keep you interested in a conversation, and like the time goes quickly because you're enjoying yourself and you're all chatting and all the rest of it, is completely different and missing on something like a Zoom call or a Teams call. It's not the same. Now, we all know this, but what I'm trying to say is it was the phenomena of this and the phenomena that I witnessed as a kid when people are trying to, or as a young adult actually, when people are trying to, and obviously as I've got older, I've noticed this phenomenon more and more. So I said to Josie, I said, is it true? I said, because I've got to be honest, I've been doing this job now for many, many years, and I'm very good at it. I said, and that's not me bragging. I know I'm good. I'm really good at and I'm still very good at the company that I'm now. I close so many jobs in a day. It's unbelievable. But Mr. Orty, no, I shouldn't really give his name like that. Apologies. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many you close. He's always like, you've missed this one. So I could close 90 jobs and like he'd be like, oh, 91, this 91st job, you've actually made a mistake on this. And that's what he'd remember. He wouldn't remember the other 90 that I did successfully. He'd remember the one that I didn't. And that's what I'm saying. He is a very, very difficult person to please. I don't think it's possible to please him terribly well. I think obviously they go to like these management meetings where they get told, well, you should really like tell your team when they do well, and occasionally they'll say, oh, you did a really good job there. And I'm like, is that you saying that because you mean it, or is that saying that because you've been on a management meeting where they say you really should like tell your team that they've done well sometimes? That's me being negative. No, it's me knowing Mr. Steve well, really. I've got a lot of respect for him. He is it sounds like I haven't. I just don't like these negative ways. And he does. It's horrible to be in a work atmosphere where you've got to face that. I mean, yesterday he was like telling me off. I saw his call and I thought, oh, I better stand to this call. So I rang him back on my hands-free kit and spoke to him, and I got berated for like not doing this and not doing that. And I'm like, oh my life, I really wish I'd not rung you. But of course he is the boss, and he just berated me about a few things that I'd not quite done right. And I'm like, it's really not nice, this negative like, and I'm getting it in the neck because you're not. The fact that I'm out and about doing a job, it's. And I'd even discussed this job that he was telling me off for with him and my other colleague, and none of us could remember a time when we'd supported this lady remotely. So he never argued that I should go out and see it. He just told me off for, oh, you should have asked her to restart. And I thought, well, you never said that when I was asking your and Abby's advice, on Teams. So I thought you can easily tell me off now. That's very easy, but yeah, so I'm not sure. It does what? Yeah, I'll get to the point. But I asked Josie, I said, is this true? I said, because I've noticed phenomenon all my life about if you're in a room full of people that don't like you, how they can emotionally and mentally trip you up. It's like they're barbing that emotional side. It's like they're emotionally getting ready to bully you. And they're putting like these little trip things that they say, comments that draw you in, and there's 3 of them all like trying to like catch you out and do these things, and invariably they will catch you out. And I said, is it true that someone like Steve sort of causes you to trip? I said, because I've got to be honest, I'm really good at my job. And like, I make mistakes that I just think, why did I make that mistake? I never make that kind of mistake. And I seriously think it's because negative people almost trip you up with their negativity. And I seriously think I'm right. And Josie said, actually, yeah, no, it's a known phenomenon, and it really is true. You're not imagining it. That is actually a known phenomenon. Yes, that really does work. So I thought, well, yeah, I thought I knew that already anyway, but it's true. And I think actually we're going a bit too. I'm sort of now. What I find is often you miss these like bits in here when you're doing these things, and like you'll get little tiny patches that because you don't quite do the turns properly when you're trying to do this kind of thing, so as you don't have to go up and down, up and down. You sort of have to pull in further than you think, or you miss these little tiny pockets. So yeah, I'd sooner overlap a little and not miss the bits like here, this bit where we're going to turn to the left. You get a little pocket that you miss if you don't like dive in a little. So there's overlaps, but if you don't do it, you actually miss it. Yeah, and I'll probably still, again, we shall see, because I think I've been fairly thorough, but you can bet a pound to a penny that I've not quite done this right. There'll be a little tiny patch that I've missed somewhere, where there's little tiny patches of weeds growing. But we've done our best. So yes, the poplar factory, I think that's, oh, no, don't fold it. I think there's a little tiny, I was just going to like do a little bit here. Yeah, I think this bit. So I don't know that the cows will do any more than cost us a lot of cash. We've like set the scene for like doing a lot of work, and we planted a lot of things, and the mint one should make us quite a bit, because I think that's just sheer profit. I don't think there's any. Yeah, I think the if we look at the artisan one, the mint oil, although not. The other thing is, no, I think it's the other one, isn't it? The one that we haven't got. That also, if we look closely at the, there's an awful lot of stuff here. I think it's the medicine one. Canning. We've got the perfume place, haven't we? That's the one we're after next. Yeah, the pharmacy one, which I dare say that's probably is. Yeah, so this is the one that needs mint oil, but also needs the bee stuff. So the perfume. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the aromatic oil. Oh, right. Okay, so where's the aromatic oil from? See, and this is something else that's caught me out. You see, I thought the lavender oil was good. It's not. It's the perfume that I was looking at. The lavender oil is just as bad as the mint oil on its own. This is something to make something more. So the perfume, we also need aromatic oil, which I think that's what we've got now. I think it's this one. No, oh, it is. No, thank goodness for that. So the aromatic oil, we need thyme and rosemary. So we need that one. So actually, in a way, we've made the mint oil. We didn't need this. We needed the thyme and rosemary. So really, we sort of made a mistake. I have made a mistake. Yeah, I have. Not anybody else. So thyme and rosemary. And how do we plant this thyme and rosemary? Is this another planter stroke seeder? Let's have a quick look at, let's take this off the field and we'll have a look. Because really, we've sort of, we've got 577,000. We really do need that. It's as simple as that. So we could rip this field 58 up and actually do that, or grab 26. Let's have a quick look at seeders stroke planters and see my mistake, because yeah, that was for the other. I mean, we can sell it, but that's not really going to help us enormously. I sort of made a mistake, and this is the kind of mistake that could cost a farmer his farm, because it would like be another year before you get a chance to like plant this, and that means that you've only got half of the thing you need. Now, luckily, we've got the boarding factory that we would sail through due to that, but it still would mean that we'd have another lost year waiting for that particular thing. So yes, it is that one there. So then, with that in mind, do we rip this one up? Do we like just we could do, I suppose. I'm just not sure whether there's enough. What about, is there a field fairly close? It's not too terrible. We've got that edge there, which is about as big as 58, but I don't really fancy that. But field 18, 188. It's not, I wouldn't kill us. 26 is going to be expensive. 23 is going to be expensive, and I think it was actually already planted. So in a way, we've done corn that we really sort of didn't need to do. But I mean, I am also forgetting these though onto the juicers, which that's another production, isn't it? Yeah, I'm forgetting about that one. So yeah, again, in another way, we're going to have 2 productions this year, and it wouldn't really matter then if we were building up. So we could sell the mint thing, even though it's not brilliant, it's still going to bring in some cash. And then we could do the, let's have a quick look, because I'm still not quite completely with this, which is what and what is what. Cheap packaging. So this is the one we want, isn't it? The Palancia pack. I think this was cheaper. Well, you were totally wrong. It's 250,000. So yes, this one is the one that we wish to buy, and we did know about this. Grape juice and all the other juices, and also there's this waste from fruit trees as well, from all of them, which is quite nice. I do like some of his recipes. That's good because you've got this waste as well, which is being put into something else, which I like that a lot. It's good. So we're going to have, I think we've got all of these: peaches, plums, pomegranates, oranges, cherries, and apple. We did all of these, but we don't know how much we're going to make. The cycles are good. And I think we looked and the prices were good as well for the juices. So let's have a quick look as a reminder for us all, because again, I'm quite sure we're all the same. That so it's the juices that we're looking for, not the actual. Yeah, I think we did look, and that's why we switched, that the juices were actually quite good. I know the icons. Pickled. Soy square. Well, I could see the waste, right? Okay, let's have a look at the icons again. I thought I'd actually juice for juice. So it's quite a distinctive icon. That's why I thought I'd see it. So J for juice. How did I miss that? It should be quite a few as well in a row. So juice. Oh, it's one single juice. Yeah, so that is actually quite lucrative. So again, we're going to have all of those juices. I thought that I was looking for different juices. That's why I didn't actually catch it. So that's for hard economy. That is quite impressive. So that again, when do we harvest these as well? Is October. All of them, I think. Yeah, lavender is August, September. Right. So this is what we want. Did we? I think we did. Yeah, we have. Let's go through till about 6, 7 o'clock. We've done everything we can. And let's see what. Oh, no, that's. We won't miss that. No, that is brilliant. And we should go through till about 12 o'clock at night. I don't think there's much that we've actually got on hold now. Yeah, no, the production costs were minimal. That's not too terrible. Yeah, no, we can have, it's in our price range now. We've not got millions anymore. I was looking at editing when we got like 1.5 million, and I was like allowing 100,000 items. I thought that's a long way off now. Yeah, we're like right back to. I mean, we're still doing well. Don't get me wrong, but what I mean is when you consider we're going to spend 250 grand on another, that as well, it's seriously going to like dint us. So 4 o'clock. Yes. Yeah, now this is something I've been working on, and that's a header. I've spent a lot of the time working on a header, which we'll have a look at. It's I was looking for the headers in the cutter bars. I could not find them. Yeah, and the make a mod from game is basically, and I cannot for the life of me find the make a mod from game. I would just like to see. Can you see the header? It should be a grain header. It's it'll be in the modding section. Yeah, it's the normal Massey. Can't remember what picture it's got. That'll be no. That's the Titan. That's the that's not the right one. Yeah, that's the one that's it sort of appears, but it's not quite right. One I had to go with it, but I actually did have a go with another one today, and that's not here, which is a very bad sign. A very bad sign indeed. So yeah, that's a crash and burn moment. Then that is definitely that's not in here at all. Yeah, I think it's this. I'll have probably kept the price as it was, and the fact that it doesn't appear like that sort of. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, it's not there. Right, let's go through and let's do the buying and selling for what we've actually got now. And I will sort that out. Yeah, as I said, it's not the most successful day. I've just been sauntering around because I really, yeah, I didn't sort of feel it. And yet I couldn't settle to just, I was sort of trying to catch up on some of the series from this one just to see, make sure the videos are all good. And I couldn't really settle even with that as well. So right, that's the biggest chunk of change. No, so it's just, yeah, we didn't get an awful lot, did we? So, again, it really is modding. I keep sort of saying to myself, I've got to get better and like not keep beating myself up, because modding is very much about patience. It's about like keep going backwards and forwards, and you like that. I thought when I'd sort of finished with the mod, I thought, yeah, that'll be good. I'll have done a good job on that. But like you can see that it's not worked at all. It's terrible. So I've really done something that's so bad that the game can't even sort of draw it. But then on a very first draft, that's really the sort of thing that actually does happen. You can't expect that kind of thing with when you're modding. I should know better, and I shouldn't take it to heart, because it's normal. That kind of thing's normal in modding. You shouldn't expect it. You look at your errors and it'll give you a list of 7 errors, and you think, and those give you clues as to what's wrong, and you know where to look. So you fix that 3 of those 5 errors, and then you go back and you've only got 2 errors left. You fix those, and then another error happens because you didn't quite fix something, or something deeper down in the mod is wrong, and you need to fix those too. So it's just about really being thorough and carrying on. And to be honest, yeah, you just like mop them up just by being thorough like that. It's as simple as that. Now then, the other thing is, obviously I was getting really excited about like using this system. Well, that system isn't going to help us very much. We do need a header, strangely enough. So yeah, I'm thinking that the 360 would easily be able to manage a 9.2. I would imagine it could probably manage something a little bit bigger. Yeah, so I think we ought to buy a 12-meter header. Yeah, I think we'll go for the... is there a class one? Can't be much bigger though. I don't think the class... It's a 5, 6... 7.5, 7.7, 8.5. That's not bad, is it? That's a Mark Thor 1. Now, that is a point, actually. How do we... I'm presuming that you get these extra things. Obviously, it's not showing you the field types from the map, which I don't think it will do. So I really like that 8.5 from Mark Thor. That is quite amazing. Yeah, these are the 12 meter ones that I actually like. So I think we will literally ask. Oh wow, that's faster. It's 8 mile an hour. Well, okay, if it's faster because it's let's just find use because that's the rules we're playing by. Because we do need one. It's true. There's no good as like ignoring that fact. So let's go through till 10. 10 o'clock. So we've actually done everything. We just want to see how well we've done the weeding, I think, is what I'm really, and to see how our productions are doing as well. Let's do the shot first. So we are here. It just seems sensible. And 9.2, we did know about that one. We should grab that one. Yep, we've deliberately got a lorry at the shop, deliberately to mop up anything like that. That's the 5.7 that was there already. Not quite. It's not, if we're going to play by the rules, it's not quite right. So let's not, it's like just do what we've got to do. And so use this tractor. Not for that, but for that. Yeah, I was I was thinking in editing, I was thinking, you know, your swather, it's not really much use for you for like doing the crops that you've actually chosen on the map. So it might be something that you like do quite a lot normally, but really swathing is not the be all and end all unless you're using a crop that you can swath with. And I thought, yes, this is actually quite true. It really is, right? So let's use this fantastic bit of kit. And let's hopefully not take the vent out as we do so. We could still really do with a lorry. So I like a lorry for the... have we bought... No, we haven't bought a lorry. We've only bought this one. So if we keep this one down here for like buying and selling, we could actually grab that very one by Axery that I really do like. And we didn't put the cheat engine in. We just, yeah. Well, you can actually put the engine power on as well. So that's for us. And I think we're going to grab the Castle de Leon thing out of the way, so that it's no longer here. I did say I'd like to do a little bit each time, and I did mean it. Fantastic. So nice big area this, really. Let's grab Axeries. Let's push that bit back out of the way a little. Actually, it's best, yeah, because obviously we sort of, if we go over that way, we block the way out that I've made. I'm quite pleased with that. I really am chuffed that I did that. Yeah, I love the shape of this as well. It's quite a nice lorry. Yeah, so this is the thing that helps you to lug the liquids, the perfume and that. So that will be definitely a good thing. As in, like, it will really bring in some cash. Yeah, I didn't think I'd actually done that. So it's 10:34. Let's pop down. Did we buy everything? I think we did. Yeah, I think that's everything that we'd got access to. Let's pop and make sure all of our productions are good and everything. And see how the... Yeah, I'm hoping that we're not getting the ghost bug happen again, because it did seem to settle down last session. I should say this should be able to go straight down the middle of the shed. Now then, I can distinctly see some corn growing. We'll have a good look at how we're doing to see whether there's any patches of weeds that we missed or anything like that, or whether we did a good job. Hopefully we did a good job, but you never know. Right, fantastic. So if we pull over a little, we should not block the actual... Switch my light on. I'm terrified like leaving it on. That's what I meant to do. I meant to do that. Knew there was something. Yeah, I wanted to do that. I did think about it, and then I never sort of like got. I did loads of other things instead. Ooh, what's that about? Oh, well, yeah, we knew about this, didn't we? Let's just. I don't know. I think it's because it's inside the. Yeah. Right, so then, one thing at a time. Let's have a look how we did do on the weeding and the fertilizing and all that type of stuff. Like I said, now I did know this would be true. So yeah, there were patches where I didn't quite do it right. Little tiny pockets, just as I said. It was like I foretold it happening, wasn't it really? Oh, and I didn't. Yeah, I left a big patch around there. But I've got to be honest, all in all, not too terrible. It could have been an awful lot worse. So we don't need any liming. We did all the mulching. We didn't need any rolling. So we did everything. Everything's double fertilized that we've done. So apart from those little patches of weeds, we didn't do too terribly, really. So now it's a matter of the yield. Now, I'm hoping that the headers do. It's always this moment of like where you're not sure on a new map what does what, because it's not showing the icons on the headers for the new crops. So I mean, yeah, let's have a look in the DLC and see if I'm missing something, and whether the Castle de Leon, there is actually more to this. Castile and Leon. Yeah, if there's actually more to how you grab these things. Are there more harvesters that I've missed, or what? So there's a special trailer as well. There would be, wouldn't there, thinking about it? Capacity, 6 cubic meters, 12. Yeah, now these are for the trees, the poplars, and we've got that. Silver Star, and oh no, oh no, that is awful. It's 3. Oh, Gordon Bennett, what my days of using that horrible thing. Right, okay, we're gonna have to like order one, aren't we? Wow. No. Oh, it's awful. It really is. Okay, so horrific. That is really terrible. Right, okay, that's really not made my day. That's terrible. So we've done all of our fields. We were going to look at our productions, weren't we? Please cheer me up a little. The ones we've actually got. Now, how are we doing in our wood? We have... The wood is doing... Oh, no, that is impressive. Yeah. Firewood 31,000, wood 23,816. So this is doing well. How are we doing in the chipping factory? The wood chips. So it's keeping these two things going fairly well. Now we did put that. So that's, yeah. It's now splitting them almost equally. So I'm quite happy with that. It's supposed to be good. The super popular greenhouse, and it is. So it's got plenty of water, plenty of manure. So is that, and that's doing well as well. The timber plant we've seen is doing well, and the Segovian artisan is not doing well because it's waiting on us to get things in. So what have we got to do? Let's just look. So it's firewood, which we can push to it. Distilled water. Now then, so we need to switch that on, which means we need some firewood. So let's do the timber plant. So it's distributing the firewood to anywhere that needs it. Now, it's the only bad thing about productions because they push too much. It's probably going to push way too much firewood over to that one, but what can you do? So the distilled water, we also need water too, and it's got a million litres, so that means we need to do more pushing of water because on the hour that's going to like all go. So we need to grab, I think it is you, I think. No, it's not, but we have got one of our tractors close by. I think this does do water as well. It does feel very strong, this lorry, really does. You can feel the difference between the cheaty... Ah, that's right. Why was he not showing? Probably was. I was looking probably in the wrong place. Right, so let's have a look how we actually are doing for water in our production silo. Has it gone? Is it keeping up with it? Oh, it is. So if we go through till 11 o'clock, we should see that water go out. Right, so that should, now we'd be filling it back up again because that will have gone whoosh straight out, or it should have gone straight over to do the aromatic oil. Now the distilled water is now distinctly working. Oh, wow, I sent all that firewood over there. Gordon Bennett. We shall see how well this does over the month, and obviously that's going to produce a lot of distilled water, which we then need for our, to make the mint oil and that. And obviously we easily can produce quite a lot. Ethanol. Do we need the ethanol? We need the aromatic oil. And that's why we need the thyme and the rosemary, which I'd distinctly forgotten about. It's true. We need to buy a field, don't we? We're going to do the thyme and rosemary, and that's horrible. I've got the harvesters to buy as well. Has anybody got a field of what does it look like on the map? Can we buy a field and sort of like do the thyme and rosemary is a very light green. You can bet your bottom dollar it's no one's done it on the map. Or it's at the end of the map. So really, I think we need to do some thyme and rosemary, and we have no idea like how well this is going to do we at all? I think field 18 is it's got stuff in it. There's only really field 26 or 30, and that's over. Is that a river? I think so. It's 26, and that would seriously dint us. I think we're going to have to do the other things that we've got in plan already, and just like build up a bit of a stockpile. Because if it's a long haul, I've got to hope that the things that we've got, we still need to buy that harvester, and we've got 1.2 million to buy, and we've also got the other production to buy. So it sort of like looks like it's all spend. So really, luckily for us, we have got the chipping factory that is going to like come into its own. So let's just zip through till 2 o'clock, or maybe even nearly 4. Yeah, we can just about sort of. Yeah, I'm happy to. It's close. It's in the range. I'm only trying to do this so we don't waste time. Let's go through till about 8 o'clock at night. Ooh, okay. Oh, my life. Is that going to be... Huh. can't see anything that we've actually asked for in that at all. We've not asked for any of those. How odd. I think I've ever... Because we surely can't have lost it. We didn't really like spin past it by an awful lot. So that's not so good. No, that's very strange. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. Let's go through till about 12-ish. Okay, well, I'm hoping this time we really have. Aha. Nope. That's not what we asked for either. Well, I don't see it. It's almost like something's coming through that it's not actually coming through. Okay. That's too big. Yeah, I do think that is probably too big. Definitely too big. I think tractors we're all right for, definitely for a bit. Ooh, what have we got that's costing us 3,000? You've got to look for these little things. I mean, it's like 3,000 off your profits. So this is really strange. I don't think I've ever seen that happen where it says we've got something come through and then it doesn't come through. Let's just move this out of the way. Yeah, obviously I like the fact we could do this, but I just found it really quite difficult to use. Let's get this one. Right. This is our fence, isn't it? Yeah, this is the 7 series. Yeah, I mean, obviously our best ally is really probably buying and selling like this, because we could sort of find ourselves that we're in a good position cash-wise to actually grab a production or maybe another field. But I think, I just think we've already like tried to meet the map, and you can't always build Rome in a single day or a single year. Sometimes it's going to take you time to get established. You can't do it all in one go, because one thing I have found a few times when I used to be in FS19, I tried to play aggressively sometimes, where you try to take chances, and sometimes you come a cropper because you're not properly prepared when you do that. So yeah, I often found it was bad, and that you were far better to have a bit of like a bumper, because there's always this time where you're assimilating what you've actually got and then doing something with it, and there's a period of time where you've got to adjust, is the best way I can put it. Right, so by the time we bought that, sold the header. Now I know we've got the corn header, I'm not forgetting that. If this was a little smaller, I'd think, yeah, I think the Mark Thor, because we did up its, but it's still only a 320. So it can manage, again, I don't know, because there's the Massey can manage headers that are bigger than it should be able to, because it's got a characteristic, I can't remember what it's called in the i3D, but it can go beyond. Now if you use the Russell mash, it's not got that characteristic, and it can only use very tiny headers. Right, so we are sort of keeping abreast of things. Right, so Let's go through till about 6ish and see. Let's try and stop a bit quicker if we get this. I thought we were stopping at 6. That seems to be 9 o'clock to me. Right, there's nothing at all that we want there. Let's have a look at how our productions are doing, which we won't do there. Let's have a look. Water, wow, it's filled up now. Yeah, I bet that's all. The water's all gone, I would say. Oh, not all. How's the chipping factory doing? So that's 168,000 litres now. So is the other one? No, I think that's got to be multiplying again. Oh, this ghost bug thing, it's ridiculous because there's no way it should have done that. It's almost like it's almost like when it has more than one place to go, that it twists it from one to the other and just multiplies it. I mean, the guar glue as well is tremendous. I don't know what to do. It's just the game is just so. It's got 106,000 litres of wood in there. Wow. I know. Obviously, I've got nothing to do with how good that is. That's quite tremendous. I mean, it's obviously supposed to be good. It's got 3 million litres. So the Segovian artisan has got loads of firewood, distilled water, 28,000 litres. Okay, well, I mean, we are whizzing through the months as well. It's not quite as cut and dry as I'm making out. So I suppose it is going to pack up as we go through and, keep going through. Let's go through till 2. We've not got anything to do. Well, actually, we ought to be looking to see how, because these are new crops to me. When do lavender could be in 2 months. And pears and that are all in, so 2 or 3 months. August is likely to be the closest, so we can easily go through till 2 o'clock. I'm sort of trying to do this sort of quite not aggressively, but this is going to bring in quite a lot of cash for us with these big items. These are like a dream when you get the big items like this. Wow, amazing. We've got the big one already. We don't need that because we've already got the biggie. Excellent. That's a very good run. Yeah, I knew when I saw this that I thought, I'm sure I've and that's not a map that I've been on. So I'm glad in a way that I never did go on this in FS22 because it's sort of brand new to me. It's a nice feeling the very first time that you go on a map like that, and when it's got quite a lot of nice challenges that the map maker's built in. And last but not least, the Danman. Damn man. Or Damman. I'm not. I don't know that it is Damn Man. It might be Damman. Yeah. Which is a completely different pronunciation. Oh, I think we've gone past it. Wow, excellent. Right, now we are cooking on gas, definitely. Right, so it's June. Let's go through. We'll go through, I think, till July morning. I just wanted to push on as much as I can, which is one nice thing about, for once, not having animals, because obviously this lot is going to go up like a lot. But our other things, so yeah, the thing that we're really going to make the most out of this year is probably the Ebon Crest and that, which is going to do quite well. Yeah, I mean, we're just getting ready for this. And that's it, I suppose, really, if we did very, very well on a lot of these things, it's still not, they're not finished products. We need to do the rest as well. So, yeah, it's not as simple as just doing that. So let's go through till about 6-ish. Ooh. Now, let's hope that you turn up this time. Now, that's the thing. We did order that. I love that. Yeah, I do. The Helianthus. We're not doing any. Now, that is unbelievably good value. It is. So that is one thing that really did appear. Thank goodness for that. So we have our header, even though it's a little bit small. Now, there is one thing I could do, and that is I could sort of go out and add the crop type to a header or something like that, or a special harvester by sort of copying it. I could even add it to one of my own harvesters. Because I'm not fancying using that on these big monstrous fields. That is going to take so long. It is. Oh, it's Huta and Panta. I had quite a lot of pea fields, but by comparison to the field sizes that we've got on this map, they were little tiny fields. These are like monsters. Just seriously, facing them with that small harvester header is just not very appealing at all. It's not. Oh my life. Why could he not have used a nicer header? Let's go through till about 12 o'clock. The other thing is, I'm going to say as well, like I speed through time now a lot. It's an awful lot better than sleeping through the nights. I think that definitely does something as well. Yeah, oh, now that was a big production cost, so something that's cost us a lot. Oh, my double. Now that's the only thing. No. Only thing in that entire lot that is in our price range. So let's go through till about 4-ish. Oh, it's here. I think we ought to buy. Now that is a very good bonus. It really is. It is 3.5 meter header. Wow, it takes me back. That does. Very good price though. It's going to take us a while to recover. And that's what I'm saying. The other thing is, like, we've got expensive equipment to buy. We really have invested a lot in doing the map. Sell the... and yeah, and that was a good bonus. If we'd have paid like full price for that. But what I'm trying to say is that kind of header size, you need 2 or 3 of them. It's like a sugar beet harvester. When I did sugar beet on most maps, even an FS19, I would aim for like about 3 of them, and then that's not cheap. But if you got to hit that, a big field, you really need to do that kind of thing. So about up to 462. I don't think we can afford a second one. I think this year we would have to manage with what we've got. Let's just push that over a little. Yeah, I don't think we could afford a second one. I wouldn't expect to have a good bonus with that a second time. That would be pushing it a little. Ooh, okay. No, it's not quite in our price range, is it? Now that one is. Ooh. I'm not sure if I like that or not. It's a bit... It's definitely a bit. Definitely a bit. Yeah, it hurts your eyes a bit. It's sort of nice, but sort of not. It's, yeah, definitely different. So I think we'll leave it here. We must be getting close to harvest. We'll have a quick look at how well we're doing. Like because obviously I think our biggest asset is going to be like last year when we are buying and selling the chipping stuff, but we're not going to have quite the amount. Well, I don't know. I don't know, actually. I would say the chipping factory is going to do better on these, because the thing is, it's like ploughing away, banging away at these other ones. It's still making the particle board and that, though. It's just sending it all over to the refabricating factory, which is doing a very good job. And it's making more than enough guar glue. It is. That's doing really quite amazing. Wow, we're nearly running out of room for wood chips. I mean, again, the other thing is obviously it's got like 4 fabricators. I always did sort of like, yeah, for each one of the... Is that... Have we switched to... Oh, wow, I didn't realize we're doing wood chips as well. That's... Well, I'd even forgotten I'd done that, so convert wood chip. That is quite amazing. I'm actually quite liking how this is all working. It's quite tremendous, really. So 476,000. We are... No, was that all we're going to do? So is that like what we're going to show? I just want to have a good look and see how the field is doing as well, and see how golden everything is, or how green, to see how close. We've already checked. So those two are very green. Now we know obviously corn is a lot. Oh, now they are also quite green, but not quite ready. So yeah, these I think... Well, really, if we've got that only the one, we might lease a second one, I think, because it's going to be a serious... the other thing is, it depends if he's classed it as bulk. We might, if we look at the trailers, a bulk trailer... No, that's not a bulk trailer, really. That's a very poor choice. If it shows his thing, and now we can actually grab his bits and bobs. Let's just see, does it grab the map things, or do you need... No, it does. Yeah, no, there are things off this map that are showing in there, including the time of the rosemary. So we don't need a special trailer. It's classed as bulk, and obviously we've got bulk. Right, I'm going to run this down, though. I'm sick to death of seeing this. Might need to pull it out or grab Mark Thor's out a little bit. So I'm not sure we can get to it. So I am going to say my goodbyes, but I shall have moved this, as I promised that I would keep on like chipping away at this, because there's an awful lot down here, and I think we will definitely be doing with this trailer for the coming harvest. I do, if I can actually get the angle right. So all that remains to be said for this session is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.